Hello, and what's a crack a day, boys? Welcome back to part 3 of this Japan Let's Play series, which is a part of a stream. Um, this is part 3, and we'll be continuing our playthrough. I've already done this episode and had a catastrophic incident with my recording equipment, so I lost that, and I've got to do it all over again. The good thing is, hindsight, I need to fix a couple of things that we did wrong in the last episode, like this invasion, which I set off, and it lands in the province beside Shanghai. I initiated this invasion, and it ended up me losing about 5 marine divisions. So, that will be fixed. Hindsight is a marvellous thing. And we'll also sort these orders, which I didn't much like last time as well. Instead of having two, well, actually we do need 2 orders, but we will basically we'll amalgamate that into one when we start. Same with this. Do that one, and we'll also put the second army to go down the south. Hindsight, brilliant. What we'll also do at the start of this episode is we'll fix a little bit more of our navy. We need to create another couple of destroyer flotillas, I think, for convoy raiding. We'll do that. We'll go into the first Japanese task force, and we'll take. We've only got 19 destroyers left there. We'll maybe make it a submarine flotilla, maybe, or task force. Create a new task force, and we'll put maybe 25 submarines in it, just early ones, just for convoy raiding. And we'll also put this big task force into the reserves, amalgamate with this one. So that will be that. The other thing that we need to do is we also need to justify a war goal on Yunnan and the Gangxi clique, because we will be declaring war on them as well as China all in a oneer. This is going to be a hard war. No spoilers or anything, but this isn't going to be a clean sailing. The Chinese have a lot of men, and we're attacking on 2 fronts, which means our troops are spread out. So I'll get the game underway. But that's both of them sorted, so now we can declare war on everybody. We will do that. Will we wait for them? No, I think we'll just get stuck right in and declare war on them all. So just check this for a second. Cool. Right, let's declare war. Let's get China whipped. Declare war. Yes. We also have war goals on Shanxi, who will declare war on. We've also got them. Gangxi clique. Yes. And Yunnan. Hopefully we can catch some of these guys unawares, but the lines are fully defended, so no. Then what we'll do is we'll go to these orders and we'll change them to a single front in a second. Actually, we still can't do that. 2 seconds. There we go. Start the game off again. Join the Chinese United Front. That's fine and dandy. Zipsan-ma joined it as well. Move this front line, extend it over, and hopefully can we extend this front line now as well, because that's really what I want to do. Yes, I can. Lovely. So now we've got a full front line there and a full front line in the south. It's got some decisions to make. We don't need to make any of these decisions because we've got full war support, so we can disable them. And there should be nothing else that needs our attention at the moment. Escalate war in China, we will do that. And we will not offer surrender terms. So, now we got to sort out our air wings, our navy, and everything like that. So let's sort out our air wings first. What do we have? Cut in a bit. We have naval bombers, which we'll send to the East China Sea. We have a fighter squadron and a close air support squadron we'll send here to go into northern China. We'll also bump these guys from 50 to 100 because I know I've got fighters in reserve. I'll also take these tactical bombers, send them to the north as well to bomb the northern China. What else do we have? Naval bombers there. Oh, they need to be selected to. They'll just be doing naval strikes. And that's them. I've also got a lot of planes in reserves, which we'll have to sort out in a second. We don't need those free dockyards. Missing equipment. We'll get back to that once we get the zeros. And we'll tell these guys to retreat because we are getting pushed a wee bit here. Messing up that front line just before I declared war was not a good idea. But hey ho, we'll just have to deal with the consequences. Right, so how many planes do we have in reserve? We've got enough for another fighter wing, so we'll put a fighter wing in the south. Sorry about that. And we'll just tell them to actually do that. We'll tell them to defend the skies near here. Do we also have enough for our close air support? We do. That's cool. So I'll tell them just to do everything you can and just defend Southeast Asia. Because this part of the country gets hit quite hard. So we're making good losses. We're killing a lot of them though. 3,000, 21,000, those are acceptable figures. What else do we have air wings wise? Wait, where did these guys come from? Where are these guys? Oh, they're in Japan. We can send these guys also to, can't send any more there, send them here. Just fly about. No? What are you doing? Are you shifting? Are you shifting? Yeah, you are. There we go. You can defend that province for the time being. Cool. Right, now we need to sort out our navy and get these get China blockaded. So we'll go to our navy. They've got 5 naval divisions. We need to change some of these destroyer flotillas. We'll make them a... What will we make these? Shark fin. That's what we'll go for. Did that change? Nope. Oh, that's for the fleet. That's not. I don't want to change the fleet. I want to change the task force one. How do I do that again? That. There we go. There we go. The fleet will just be that. No. That. There we go. In the task force, I will want to be a shark. The other destroyer task force will be a shark as well. Oh, we got 3, do we? How many do we have? 1. No, that's a battleship. That one is a battleship. Or a battle fleet. So we'll change them to that. Is this one? No, it's a carrier fleet. Change them to zeros or planes. Then we've got destroyers, destroyers, and subs. Right, so destroyers. I've just changed that. Destroyers, destroyers, and subs. There we go. Now we can easily tell what's doing what. Now for this, I want everybody's set to hold. I want these 3 task forces to do patrols of the East China Sea and the Yellow Sea. That means we'll completely cover that. Actually, I want them to do convoy raiding. Convoy escort, convoy raiding. That's what we want. Lovely. So that same setup. I also want the carrier fleet, which is this bad boy. I want the carrier fleet down here in the south, and I want the battle fleet here in the north to do some bombardment on any coastal provinces that we're attacking or defending in. And the carrier fleet Hispanic alliance has been created. So I think Mexico has just created their own faction but hasn't added anybody to it, which is interesting. If we go to factions, they haven't added anybody to it. We'll get to see what happens to them in the future. Decisions. What decisions have we got? Escalate the war in China. Yes. Cool. And where's the second army? Second army is already here, so that's brilliant. Also want to train 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more guys in this, and I want to prematurely deploy all of these men. It means they'll be less trained, but defending against the endless horde of Chinese, they will soon gain their training. And also the south will need some help. Also want these guys to retreat to there, or else they will be in danger of being surrounded. Also want to set up a initial order for these guys to essentially push into China when the time comes. Kingdom of Hungary joined Axis, and we've done the focus for the first air fleet, which is 1 step closer to the 0. Go to fighter modernization just to get that 0 as fast as possible, because it's a good air superiority fighter, especially early in the game, and that is not good. One of our poor cavalry divisions is going to pay the ultimate price. Unfortunately as well, there's going to be no way that we can actually take them back. That's a Soviet division, which is going to be extremely powerful, and we're not going to be able to push back against that, unfortunately. It's a shame, but it's just going to be the way it is. Greece capitulated to Italy though. Italy's gained a bit of territory, making Axis a little bit bigger. Whilst Carlist Spain is looking like it's going to win the Civil War, which will be interesting because they'll be a non-aligned country. It'll be interesting to see what they actually do. This next destroyer hull, we'll just keep researching things for destroyers to make them a lot better. I would like to have a good destroyer fleet. So the fascist Mexicans got taken out in the Civil War, and the Kingdom of Romania joined Poland in that name for a faction. So if Germany goes against Poland, they'll be fighting Romania as well. That'll be a different state of affairs. Unfortunately, our cavalry division died, so that bumped up our numbers by like 15,000. But we are still killing the vast amount more of them than the opposite way around. If you look at what we'll actually do while we're here is I'm going to split these theatres up. I'm going to have a North China theatre and a South China theatre. North China theatre, and we also want to put these guys in a new theatre with a new army group, which will be Army Group 2. We'll assign them to Ha. We'll also make them red. And we'll also assign the second army to him as well. That'll mean that we can get more detailed battle reports from both theatres. And this is not good. Looks like we might need to make a tactical retreat out of here, or else they're going to get surrounded, and that is a lot of divisions to get surrounded. Would be a crushing defeat. And it looks like we might need to tactically retreat back to Hanoi region. One tank brigade, there we go. They'll take this province, it's fine. And these guys will retreat back to here, which is also fine. It's just got to tell these air divisions, squadrons to go into Southeast Asia as well. Ooh, battle report for the Navy. Took out a convoy. Lovely. And we've researched heavy fighters, which we will put into production, but they won't actually get produced at the moment. They will do when we get more factories, but not currently. Keep escalating this war. And we'll tell these kiddies to tactically retreat to here. And tell these kiddies to stay put. How long do they take? 1 day and 17 hours. These guys take 20 hours, so they'll be there first. At least we've got men right along this front line now. Xinjiang joins the Chinese United Front. Now that's good. What that means is usually Xinjiang joins the Comintern, but now we'll join China, which means that we'll have the option to actually take them out. This is a good thing. 2 more convoys destroyed, adding to the pressure on the Chinese. We will deploy the Marines and add them to the naval invasion. And once that naval invasion's order is complete, we will send them in to do a wee raid on Shanghai. I fully expect them to be garrisoned there, but we will see. The South's starting to win. The North still getting pushed back in a couple of points, but in general, it's looking all right. The way you win a war against China as in Japan is you hold back the initial wave, which is a lot of men and a lot of rifles getting pushed into your. Oh, that's a good battle. 5 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and 1 convoy, and we lost nothing. That is a brilliant battle. But yeah, as I say, you got to win against the initial push. Try not to lose too much infantry equipment and stuff. We're negative 7,000 in deficit, so we've got a ways to come before we fully equip everybody. But if you hold back that initial push, then they start running out of equipment, and then you just wipe them out. If you look into our battle reports, that is a crushing battle. As you all over here, 10,000 Chinese against 1,430 Japs. Oof, that's just brutal. All these battles look pretty brutal. 2,000 lost against 56, 741. This was we lost a few men there, but they lost still 6 times as many as, or 5 times as many as us. The real thing that we need to worry about, what I'll do is I'll change this to 2 months because it makes more sense to me if you split up into smaller chunks. If you go to the equipment, what you'll see here is, in the north, we're losing about, 2,000 infantry equipment every 2 months? But for them, they're losing almost 8,000. So they're losing, a lot more infantry equipment than we do, and all they pretty much have is infantry equipment. Really, they don't have artillery or anything fancy like that. They will have some aircraft, but only fighters and nothing fancy. Then if you go to the south, we're losing 2,000, and they're losing double. So it is a war of attrition with the Chinese, Japanese. We need to tactically retreat again, or these guys are going to get surrounded. Oofed. Really bad, really bad, really bad. We're going to lose this airport. Send these guys down here. Unfortunately, it's just going to be one of these things we have to do. So these guys are tactically retreating to here. Tactically retreating. That's the word. We're not running away. We're strategically redeploying. Now these guys need to run to Hanoi. And once these guys retreat back here, we need to get to this province and this province. If these guys come down there, although we have a port, we'll be greatly reduce our effectiveness. So I'd rather not. So once these guys get into here, I will tell these guys to tactically retreat to this port. And hopefully we can get there in time before this whole section is cut off. There we go, they're in. Treat them back. Keep this horse in place. That's the stuff. Tell them to go across the river. Again, this will be a defensive location as well. Over this river, they'll find it. They'll struggle a lot to try and to push across it. So it's good for us. Just tell them to stay there. There, come back. Lovely. You actually go that way, and you actually go to there. Thank you. You come back across here. They'll take these two provinces, and hopefully that gives us a nice defensive area. Also frees up some of our troops to push along here and help the rest of the line, but the rest of the line looks generally alright. Tell these tanks to go back over here, and same with the cav. Maybe tell the cav to go there. Oh, they're actually getting attacked. We won't win that, but it's interesting to see. Hanoi, that's going to be an interesting battle report to see. We've got quite a lot of air support over the top of it, and they're a severe disadvantage. In fact, they've got low supply. What's our supply like? Our supply's fine. Fandabidoze, their supplies, because they've got so many men just on this line, their supply's probably being hurt. We'll just carry on down our doctrines. We'll spend 100 army experience to get that next doctrine a bit faster. We'll also tell a guy to step into this province. Okay, I'm going to read that battle report. Where was that token? There, 800 against nothing. So yeah, and we'll just leave that province there to now. It's always good to have some land. Probably a better defensive to be behind the river, but just let them push ahead. The north, though, the north isn't looking too good just now. We're winning in a couple of locations. We're also attacking there. Why are we attacking? Stop that attack. Allow you to move. Same here. Stop attacking. Let's take the brunt of the assault first. As you can see, some of their equipment is just starting to scratch, going down. Some Soviet mountain brigades, which are pretty terrifying at the start of the game. Actually, what can we actually see what's in the Soviet mountain brigade division? 2 artillery, yeah. So they're probably got 1 artillery. Probably got support artillery. Yeah, they do support artillery, support entrenching, and then quite a lot of mountain troops. Quite scary for, quite a lot stronger than the Chinese troops we're fighting against anyway. But it looks like we've stopped the south. What we should do now is what I'm wanting to do is, this Gangsta Clique section is extremely rich in resources. So I would like to capture that as fast as possible. So I'm going to do a spearhead order just over here with our mobile divisions. And hopefully that'll cover the whole lot. But when we actually come to do that order, we'll shorten the front line, and it will be about that. And this second army, they will then go and take all these victory points at Chongqing, this sort of area. What's our Marines? Marines are ready to go, so we'll send them out. Do we have a... What we'll do is, seeing as we might pull away the battle fleet from up north and allow them to engage Shanghai with their guns. I think we will do that. It'll be worth it, I think, if it allows our Marines to land. So we'll send our battle fleet down to this province, which allows them to bombard any shoreline provinces, and we'll tell our Marines to go. But as I say, I fully expect them to be garrisoned there. I think it's worth it. That's a battle fleet in. A couple of battleships and battle cruiser. Quite a lot of firepower. Unfortunately, they do have a coastal fort, so it will be a tough battle if they're, depending how many people are in. Fingers crossed there's nobody and we just walk in and take it. No likely though. We've got hunters of rubber, which we don't need to import anymore. Scotland, we can take a couple more steel. And we also need some more steel, which we will take from Carlos, Spain, maybe. Give them a couple of factories. Don't think they'll be a threat to us, especially in the early game. That's a beautiful thing to see. Winning in one province, absolutely losing in every other. Probably 2 months hasn't passed yet, so just an insane amount of equipment they're losing. Oh, now that's interesting. That means that Shanghai is undefended. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We'll just walk into Shanghai, and with our 4 marine divisions, we'll take Hangzhou and Susao. We'll just march to here and we'll hold this then. We can't unfortunately, we don't have enough divisions to actually push in any further in. But what that means is that it'll redirect Chinese divisions from the front lines, and it will take the pressure off of the north and south. Although the south seems to be handling itself quite well. Every little helps though. Because if you think about it, like, these marine divisions are nothing to be scoffed at. Armour car, recon, artillery, although they don't have them directly in, like, enough in them, they're nothing to be scoffed at. Like, so they're going to need to send at least what, we've got 4 divisions there. They're going to need to send at least what, 8. So that's a lot off their front lines, you know, and they'll be worried that we send more troops in the back of them as well. A good wee invasion. Good wee invasion. If we take Susao as well, it means we've got an airport, and it'll also mean that we can send in some air wings. do some cheeky. Actually, what I'll mean is we can send our naval bombers over and actually allow them to bomb from this side, which will be a lot more effective. Good stuff. Good stuff. Uncontested. Brilliant. Cannot get a better outcome than that. 1200. Oh, it's a big airport as well. Brilliant. So we'll send them in. Will we go to the Yellow Sea or the East China Sea? The Yellow Sea's closer. We'll go to there. Go to there. Well, also, do we have any other air wings we can actually create here? Create 100 fighters. That's always good. Air superiority and interception in this area. What else can we create? We've got close air support. Creating quite a lot of them at the moment. That's fine. They can do some just ground support in this area as well. Put them to normal operations. We're not that desperate where we're putting them to everything. Interwar bomber, even though there's only 6, might as well. Happy days, and they'll just go to strategic and ground support. Oh, and actually tell them to do that order. Lovely, lovely jubbly. That's an amazing front line. Look at the first division they got. Just arrived. Well, that's maybe like a few days after the invasion they arrived. Oh, can't get any better than that. Look at the amount, just the sheer enormous amount of divisions on the enemy side. I'm going to win here, and that's an unprotected province. That's not good. Get some sonar on their destroyers, especially if we want to fight the Americans eventually. Hanoi's still holding. That's good. Looking all fine over here. As soon as they get pushed. Oh. The fall of Warsaw? I don't know. When did that happen? I completely missed the declaration of war on by Germany on Poland. Completely missed that. Don't know how I missed that. Oh well, let's see, what's this saying? Oh well, missed that, but it looks like they're going to get stomped. Which, I mean, you can't blame them. The sheer power of the Germans against them was a bit one-sided. Garrisons, how are they looking just now? They'll just be a little bit short of equipment, but all the resistance is going down. The place in the Philippines, which I forgot we actually had, but that seems to be complying more as well. In fact, we invaded them first of all, wasn't it? The first episode, I think. It's been a while since the last episode. Sorry, they should be coming out of that faster now. They finally built up a little bit of a front line against these Marines. Hopefully we'll get a few strategic bombings into them. Although we've only got 6 aircraft, which is probably not a lot. If we actually take a look at our air defence, yeah, we've got air superiority everywhere. And if we look at Chinese intelligence, I think they should have next to no planes at all. We think they've got about 16 tactical bombers and 100 aircraft, 100 fighters, so yeah, they've just got no way of dealing with the air threat that we pose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tactically retreat these guys out of here. They are just increasing the length of the front line here, which we don't really want to do. There's more of them and less of us. If they push through us, which they have actually done here, they could have marched somebody down here and into this province and would be knackered. So we want to decrease the line. And in fact, that isn't good there. We're actually losing that. Tactically retreat these guys, I think. Have to do a little bit of micromanaging on the southern line. Northern line seems to be holding initially. There we go. Look at the amount of divisions they've sent down here. What's that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 16 divisions they've sent against 4. So that's 16 divisions that aren't on these lines, you know? Every naval invasion helps. Hopefully these guys tactically, you guys come over here, please. We need you guys over in this province, not in that province. All of you is if you're not interested. You guys aren't retreating. There we go. That's done the trick. That has done the trick. What have we got in the production that we can look at now? These tanks, we can upgrade these. Have we got enough of tanks at the moment? We do actually. We've got some free army experience, so we will just put some couple of points of reliability, maybe 5. Put 5 points of reliability in the Haigo Kaie, and we will decommission those guys. We'll put these guys into production. And what is happening here? You guys are attacking, which you shouldn't be. And we are losing at this point and this point. What I think I'll do then, tactically retreat across this river and do the same with this unit. What we're basically trying to do here is shorten our front line, making our units more condensed, better defended. Actually losing at these points. How are we doing air wise? You got planes coming into this battle. And we're bombarding them. Which is good. Up here in the north, it's almost completely stopped. And that's really bad. Really, really bad there, what they've just done. We may need to retreat out of Hanoi. I think that's actually maybe it's the best thing to do. At least get all these units back. They're still retreating there. He's still retreating there. Take these guys over there. Might be a bit risky doing that. Take these guys to here. Give up some of this land in this front line just to, if I can get a strip of troops through here, be the best. These 3 provinces are undefended. That's just horrible to see. Horrible to see. We'll keep that battle going in Hanoi as long as we can. Bring these guys over there. Throw these guys to here. These guys to here. What are you doing? That is the annoying thing about the AI sometimes, is they want to keep going back to the front line even when you give them orders. Well, there you go. We're going to lose this bit. Oh, look at that. Brilliant. Anti-Comintern Pact. We will not join that. We have our own big war going on just now, and I don't fancy fighting the Russians as well. Now, oh, that was a close one. That was almost us cut off there. Run these guys around there. Run these guys down there, and just tell these guys just basically to head in this way. I think what I'll do as well is I'll shorten this front line down to this province, and I'll also do the same with this. That way then nobody wants to actually come up this direction. Tell them to come down. Hopefully these guys don't fall. If these guys fall, that's bad. Really bad. Do have a cavalry division coming in though. In 1 day and 2 hours. I think we'll get there. I think we'll be fine. I think we will be fine. Keep escalating this war. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. Sorted. And you guys, please stop attacking. National focus bypass. Secure China because we are already attacking them. Cool. Ichigo. We will not do this because although it gives us better attack values, it pisses off the United States, which we will deal with the United States in our own creative way. I'm glad none of these divisions are attacking. That's good. But we're coming up to the end of this episode. So just as our run over, we've started our war in China. We're getting pushed back in the south. Nothing terrible. We're still winning what we want to win. We're still making them lose a lot more equipment than we're losing, and we are. Looks like we've completely made it a stalemate in the north. If we look at our infantry equipment, we're gaining, so that's even better. How's these divisions? We can actually deploy that division, even though it's under strength. We're losing this naval invasion. That's probably understandable, but probably will retreat out of here because that's a lost cause. It's understandable, but it was probably worth it. Well, it is worth it. I don't know if we can actually. Well, we can't, but we can see the amount of infantry equipment they're losing. And if we go to where's the actual battles, Susao, we're still doing really good. Look at that. That's two battles. We're still hardly losing anybody against them. So definitely worth it. We completely blockaded them. So navally, there's no way for them to get resources. They can still trade it through land, which is unfortunate. But navally, they can't. We destroyed a good number of their ships. We are continuing to construct industry. We're looking good pretty much everywhere else. Fuel's going down, but that's nothing to be worried about. Research is going fine. Just doing industry right now and just the engineering stuff we're doing. And probably in the next episode, we will continue the campaign into China. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then. It's been a pleasure. Catch.